So what makes a life truly stable? I mean, really, what is it? Is it about what we have in the bank? Or is it about something deeper, something we hold in our hearts? This is the big question we're diving into today, and we're going to do it through this incredible, ancient parable of the pig and the swan. They represent two powerful and, let me tell you, very different ways to live. Okay, let's start with a piece of ancient wisdom that has literally shaped societies for centuries. It comes from the philosopher Mencius, and he said that constant possessions lead to constant hearts. Now, the logic here is pretty simple, but it's powerful. The idea is, if you give people material security, you create a stable, peaceful society. It really is the foundation of so much of our world. And you can see why this idea is so popular, right? It's practical, it's grounded, you provide people with constant possessions, and that creates this sense of security and contentment. But is that the whole story? Is material security really the ultimate goal? Because when you focus only on possessions, you start to see the limits, and it brings up some pretty tough questions. So let's get into them. And here's the first big challenge to that ancient wisdom. Think about it. Does owning a house guarantee you'll be a good person? Not at all. We have all seen wealthy people and massive corporations do some pretty unethical things just to get even more. So clearly just having stuff isn't a very reliable moral compass. And that brings us to an even deeper question. If our stability is tied only to what we own, what does that actually do to our spirit? The source material we're looking at argues that it kind of keeps us trapped at an almost animalistic level, just focused on survival and getting more stuff. So you have to wonder, is there a higher plane for us to aspire to? Well, that question leads us to this really powerful alternative. Beyond the world of constant possessions, there's a higher foundation for life, and it's called constant faith. Now, this isn't just about religion. We're talking about having an unwavering set of principles, a guiding purpose that gives you stability from the inside out. And this leads us to a whole new principle. Those who have constant faith have constant actions. You can think of it like an internal compass. This unshakable belief guides everything you do, and it does it consistently, whether you're rich or poor, and no matter how tough life gets. And you know what? History is filled with amazing examples of this. Just think about figures like Jesus or the Buddha or Lao Tzu. These were people who had basically no material possessions, and yet their constant hearts and their constant actions completely changed the course of history. Their stability came from this deep, profound conviction, not from a property portfolio. This slide really breaks down the practical difference perfectly. So, you have a farmer with constant possessions, their land. They still might be tempted to use harmful pesticides just to make a bigger profit. But then you have a person with constant faith, a core belief in respecting nature. For them, it's not even a question. They just won't cross that line. Their internal principles are a much stronger guardrail than just ownership. And this whole idea, this massive contrast between two ways of life, is captured in this simple, really beautiful parable, the story of the pig and the swan. All right, look at this. We see the two lives right next to each other. On one hand, you've got the pig. It's grounded, it's secure, it has its pigsty, its constant possessions. Its entire world is the farm. But then there's the swan. The swan is playing a totally different game. It has no fixed home, but it has constant faith. It's like an internal map that tells it exactly where to go. And because of this, the swan is free. It soars between heaven and earth, experiencing a world the pig can never, ever know. So, after comparing a life built on stuff to a life built on faith, the next step is pretty obvious, right? We have to turn that question inward and ask ourselves, what is your constant faith? At the end of the day, the argument here is simple, but it's incredibly profound. The perspective you get from a life guided by faith, the swan's life, it just far, far surpasses the limited, secure world of a life that's only grounded in possessions, the pig's life. And so, that's the question we want to leave you with. Beyond all the things you own, what is your constant faith? What is that unwavering belief, that internal compass that gives you direction and allows you to soar? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us.